The upcoming Nobel Peace Prize is the world's most influential top-tier event. It's all about honoring heroes who changed the world. Among the 338 candidates this year, including those who dropped bombs and old-timers who've been nominated for years, you could say it's the most ridiculous and competitive year ever. The list is kept secret for 50 years, but we've dug through public information and compiled a most likely winner list. Let's predict this year's Nobel trends together. Stay till the end, and it will completely change how you see the world. Turns out, not all heroes wear capes. Some wear aprons. The first candidate is this year's dark horse. I bet he'll win. He's Chef José Andrés, a Spanish-born chef. Whenever there's a typhoon, flood or earthquake, he shows up to cook for desperate victims. Look, here in Puerto Rico, this 91-year-old veteran was trapped by flood, starving for days. Andrés waded through water, delivering hot hometown meals. Every survivor was deeply moved. He's got a big heart, but you may ask, can cooking like this really change the world? Well, let me introduce Andrés from the start. Born in Spain in 1969, he's a Michelin-starred chef and a restaurant tycoon with 40 restaurants worldwide. His hobby is cooking for homeless and helpless people. Later, he started an organization called World Central Kitchen, traveling to Tonga, Brazil, Ukraine, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Madagascar, not dropping cans, but setting up kitchens on site, cooking up to 100,000 meals a day. Over the years, he's provided 500 million meals for victims. How many lives has that saved? Has he changed the world? He has a famous saying, nobody should go hungry. So, no matter who you are, rich or poor, good or bad, he will cook for you. Even in war zones, with bombs flying everywhere, he drives in truckloads of food. Why? Because someone is hungry. But sadly, in this world, good people don't always get good karma. In 2024, the Gaza war sparkling famine, countless civilians on the brink of starvation. So, World Central Kitchen stepped in on 1st of April, 11 p.m. Their 8 convoy, 3 vehicles, 8 workers, 100 tons of food, entered Gaza with Israel's approval. But on the way, they were suddenly hit by drone missiles. Look, even the roof was pierced. The whole vehicle burned. 7 heroes from the UK, Australia, Poland, and more, all killed. This is Franca. She was like a sister to Andrés. She always encouraged everyone with a smile, sang and danced with the kids. Wherever she was, there was light. And on that day, the night went out. Hearing the news, Andrés broke down. He cried and wanted to give up.
Some of the people that died were my friends.
But then his daughter told him, we are not going to be changing the world without understanding that we must take some risks. Instead of worrying about her dad's safety, she supported her dad's dream. So 4 months later, Andrés packed his bag and went to Gaza. Totally insane! He stood there with his team, serving 200,000 meals a day. He even plans to scale up to 1 million meals a day. There is only one reason for him to be there. Nobody should be hungry in Gaza. How cool is that? Because of this, Andrés has been nominated 4 times for the Nobel Peace Prize. He is a hero who used food to save lives.
We never see problems, we only see opportunities. We adapt. One mission, let's feed the hungry after a major event. Not tomorrow, not a week from now, not a month from now, today.
Let's move on to the second nominee. He also wears an apron, but his contributions are less obvious. Some even say they are hard to understand. He's the artist Michelangelo Pistoletto. This is his first time Nobel Peace Prize nomination. Born in 1933 in Biella, Italy, he started learning painting in his father's studio at 14. He's been rebellious and innovative since he was young. He kept thinking, why should art just be a flat painting hanging on a wall? What's that got to do with us viewers? So he started using mirrors in his art. When you stand in front, you become part of the artwork. By 1967, Pistoletto was a top star in the art world, but he remained rebellious. At that time, everyone was making art for collectors to resell for profit. But he openly opposed the commercialization of art. He believed art shouldn't just belong in rich folks' living rooms. Check out this piece, Venice of the Reds. Pistoletto dared to combine cleaning wax from his studio with old clothes and attach them to a classical Venice statue, all to emphasize eco-awareness and reflect on overconsumption. This concept was groundbreaking at the time, but people marked it as cheap art. The art world isolated him. What's the point of art if it's not for making money? The viewers don't even subscribe and click a like. Even gallery he worked with asked him, "Do make something sellable, okay?" With his ideals misunderstood and his father passing away, he grew discouraged and retreated to the Snowy Mountains in 1974. He spent his days skiing on snowy peaks and his nights staring at the stars, asking, "What is art?" It took him 5 years to realize art can be anything. Anything can be art. It could be a tool for his fame and fortune. It can also be a weapon to change the world. He finally returned to the arts world in 1979, but this time he would use art to promote peace. During the 2003 Iraq War, he created the torso paradisal symbol, showing that when two opposites come together, it doesn't have to be in conflict. It can also be in harmony. You might ask, just a symbol? What's the point? He knew that too. So he turned it into a physical installation, placed inside the United Nations headquarters. He literally took art out of a museum and used it to speak with world leaders. This beautiful large piece is a silent cry. Everyone who walks in sees it, feels it, and starts reflecting. He even turned art into group action. In Cuba, he wrote local newspapers into a giant news board and posted it with citizens across Havana Square, symbolizing everyone pushing for social change together. In his own field, he promotes eco-awareness and world peace in such a peaceful way. So, here's the question. As an artist, do you think he deserved the Nobel Peace Prize? The official purpose of the Peace Prize is to honor those who have greatest contribution to fraternity between nations, reducing armies, and peace. He's been working toward that for decades, but the tricky thing about art is it's not always easy to see results. Like during that Cuba board push, someone asked while shopping, "What are we even pushing?" Pistoletto said, "Pushing for world peace." And they went, "Huh? Are you kidding?" That's why many don't see him winning. But I believe that just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And if we don't dismiss thousands of years of human culture, then as an artist of peace, Pistoletto absolutely deserves this award.
L'artista è libero di fare quello che vuole, ma non c'è libertà senza responsabilità. Cosa serve la libertà?
Let's move on to the third nominee. You can be a hero with an apron. You can be a hero with a paintbrush. And you can also be a hero with a camera. Sir David Attenborough was born in the UK in 1926. He's been obsessed with animals and fossils since he was a kid. He later joined the BBC and traveled all around the world filming documentaries. His films span black and white, color, HD, 3D and VR. He's officially the TV presenter with the longest career in history. Now, you might be asking, documentary? What's that got to do with the Peace Prize? Well, back in the day, there were no satellites. No one knew how the Industrial Revolution was changing the planet. Attenborough is the one who has been documenting our Earth's transformation. For 70 years, he shows to us how beautiful our planet is and how incredible fragile it is. Turns out, in these last 70 years, half of the world's natural habitats have disappeared. Half of its animals are gone. If we lose the Earth itself, what peace is there left to talk about? He took his film to international conference. He showed global leaders worldwide with their habitat gone, have nowhere to stand and falling off cliffs. Many people there cried watching it. He delivered a powerful message at that moment. We are standing at a crossroads in human history. We are the first generation to clearly see what's happening to the Earth. And we are the last generation that can change the fate. It's also worth mentioning that Attenborough is a true friend to animals. From African gorillas to Antarctic penguins, from birds to reptiles to fish in the sea, he visited them all.
Oh my goodness! Snake is moving again.
I've seen him off with wolves. With them gorillas, trap with birds, and even kissed a rhino. He's even cried for suffering animals. He is so passionate that he even refused to be BBC president, just so he could go out and film documentaries. Even after heart surgery, knee surgery, he comes back out to filming until now at 99 years old, still filming. On top of that, he supports many conservation organizations, helps establish rainforest protected areas, and saved tens of millions of animals. Because of his contribution, many species have been named after him. There are flowers, pitcher plants, fossils, spiders, butterflies, dragonflies, snails, frogs, and even parasites. Yes, even a parasite is called Attenborough. You're called Attenborough? So am I.
It could not be more important and far-reaching. What we do in the next few years will determine the next few thousand years.
Now, for our next candidate, he runs the largest organization on Earth, but he's also the world's most helpless CEO. On the surface, everyone listens to him, but in reality, everyone ignores what he says. He is Antonio Guterres. Born in Portugal in 1949, he became the UN Secretary General in 2017. Every time there's a war on Earth, he goes to mediate. But here's the sad truth. The United Nations is not a nation and it's not even united. It's basically a giant diplomatic stage where different countries sitting together for show, each looking out for their own interests. The most ironic proof is Gaza in 2023. To call for a ceasefire, he did something no UN secretary has done in decades. He invoked Article 99 of the UN Charter. This was his last weapon as Secretary General. And what was the result? Israel is a UN member state. He talked with Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu. He asked him to stop dropping bombs. He asked him to resign, and even banned Guterres from entering Israel. So now, you see how powerless he is. There are citizens in every country criticizing him for not doing well. Guterres is essentially a human punching bag, doing a tough fairness job. More importantly, since the UN founding, Guterres is the first person to list environmental protection as a peace issue. His goals are clear with deadlines: cut carbon emissions in half by 2030, net zero by 2050. This matters every single one of us. We will make another video predicting our future life. It is dramatic. Guterres has also been pushing hard for global unity. He's often linked China's Belt and Road Initiative with the UN 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. He hopes this can bring Africa cargo railways, clean energy, and food security. So, if Guterres could win the Nobel Peace Prize during this critical window before he retires, it would be a huge boost. He could help save the UN from the crisis of being marginalized. Before the UN, Guterres was the head of the UN Refugee Agency. This agency does great work. I personally donate money to them for 15 years straight since I was young. I've seen what they've done. Some people like to criticize charities for wasting money on high admin fees. Well, Guterres cut a full half of the staff operation costs and moved those resources to the front line to help refugees in need who had no food. Look, he delivered emergency supplies to 200,000 refugees in South Sudan. During the Georgia War, airlifted 34 tons of life-saving biscuits. He set up camps in Syria, building schools and hospitals. solving the largest refugee crisis in human history. This Guterres is a man of action. He steps up every time there's a difficult moment on earth. Would you support a man like him? Let's think about that. If a man like him fails completely, then how can we ever solve all these global problems?
We have a triple environmental emergency: biodiversity loss, climate disruption, and escalating pollution. Humanity has cut down the Earth's forests, polluted its rivers and oceans, and ploughed its grasslands into oblivion. We are ravaging the very ecosystems that underpin our societies.
The above four are my favorite candidates. My criteria are simple. What action taken? What results achieved? What impact brought? If there's only action but no results, it's worth encouraging, but not worth the award. Judging only by results is also too superficial. We should also look at the impact they've brought to the world. This criteria also matches the Nobel Committee's current approach. They want breakthroughs and tend to avoid giving it to traditional conservative charities. They also want to avoid controversial politicians to maintain the award neutrality and credibility. Besides these four, there are 334 other nominees. For example, this Swedish teen and her Uganda friend, they've done a great job waking the world up to climate change. But they are still very young and need more time to achieve results. This year, their combined chance of winning is less than 10%.
How dare you!
Elon Musk, his Starlink provides global internet access, and his Tesla supports environmental protection. But his main focus is serving urban customers for profit. He hasn't been very active in solving world problems yet. I think he has great potential to win in the future, but not this year. Pope Francis, he has promoted peace for many years, but he passed away in April. The Nobel Peace Prize has only been awarded posthumously once in its entire history, so the chance is slim. Then there's the highly controversial Donald Trump. He was nominated by 7 countries, but he dropped 70,000 bombs during his term. How can he get a peace prize? Think about it. Alfred Nobel invented the bomb for mining and constructing, but people used it for war and killing. He regretted it deeply, thinking, why did I create something that caused so much suffering and death? So donated his entire fortune after his death to establish the Nobel Prize to save the world, and then he could finally rest in peace. If they give his prize to a bomber, it would probably scare him to jump out. Anyway, I don't think Trump could win, and since so many people have already talked about him, I won't repeat it here, unless you are really interested. I can make a dedicated video later. In addition, there are also candidate organizations, like the Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, and the UN Refugee Agency, but they've already won the prize before. Unless the Nobel Committee wants to avoid controversy this year, they probably won't award it to them again. Instead, we should look at amazing international organizations that have never won. For example, UNESCO, which protects humanity cultural heritage, or the World Health Organization. There was once a terrifying disease called smallpox that kills humans for 3,000 years. Within 12 days of infection, you'd get a fever and a full body rash, with a mortality rate as high as 30%. The WHO launched a global vaccination program in 1967 and erased smallpox completely in just 30 years. This is the greatest medical miracle in human history. A contribution of this level absolutely deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. So, among all these candidates and organizations, who do you want to win most? Leave a comment to let everyone know. Remember to like and subscribe. When the results are announced on October 10th, we'll witness it together. Don't think the world peace has nothing to do with you. Even staying at home, you can still participate. Choose a candidate you like, you can follow them, donate to their organizations, or even just share this video. You are influencing this world too. A hero needs no care, just a face.